Yo, what the hey is going on? Welcome back to the Mike at the Mike podcast with DJ Mikey D. And you know what? I think I'm going to start off with a question here. I just want to ask you, sometimes you ever get tired of dealing with the man in charge? Man, sometimes you just want to punch that guy in the darn head, but you don't want the lawsuit, so you gotta take it darn easy. Dude, everybody has these moments, bro. And because of that, we're gonna look at a couple times that some artists took a stand against the music industry, because it is a terrible, terrible, dark, dark place. And just like Jack Black, man, and the School Rock, they were all freaking sick to stick it to the maniosis. Sometimes you gotta stick it to the darn man, okay? Sometimes we get tired of that guy. Like the music industry, bro. The music industry has always been crumbling, dog. There's so many big wigs in there that make a lot of money for doing nothing. It is ridiculous. And that was the darn case even back in 1968. Led Zeppelin, man, they had a contract with Atlantic Records, and they were not obviously not the first act to sign a deal with them. But in their 1968 contract with them, it was indisputably historic. At that point in time, it was the largest advance ever paid to a newly signed act ever. But more importantly, it afforded the band a massive amount of creative control. So Led Zeppelin themselves, with this deal, they were able to control what singles would be taken from an album and the controlled artwork as well. Phil Carlson, head of Atlantic Records, he said back in 2021 that they controlled the whole mastering process as well on their dang records. Jimmy Page mastered every album personally, and Atlantic had absolutely no say in whatever the heck stuff whatsoever. They couldn't do anything about it because of their deal, which is amazing. And it says here, this may sound perfectly reasonable today, but in 1968, that was an unprecedented agreement. And it would be too today. I mean, I guarantee you a lot of people today can't even do half of that stuff. They probably don't even get to control what single goes out, which is nuts, dude. Because if you're making the music, you're writing that stuff, I feel like you should have some of that control, dude. And the artwork as well, and all the other, taking a listen to your own music, seeing how you want to master it. I hardly doubt anybody gets that say nowadays, dude, which is terrible. Especially if you're a solo act. You know what I mean? Like if you're a solo dude, which you see a lot of anymore. And these people like tour with the same band though. So they're like kind of a band, but it's just a solo act. But like if you were a solo act, I would want to just have control over that stuff. Because it's my dang album. I want it the way I want it. But at the end of the day, you gotta be the man. But Led Zeppelin back in 1968, dude, they were the man. They had control of that Atlantic record contract. They did everything. It's crazy. You better stick it up to the man. I like that style. Brother. Next up, let's take a look at Frank Zappa's lawsuit against Warner Brothers. So, first off, to preface, Taylor Swift, right? Not the first musical artist to face the issue of master recording ownership. Mr. Frank Zappa had a little bit of that situation as well. In 1983, Frank Zappa sued Warner Brother Records. Man, you would never see a dang headline like that nowadays, I'll tell you that. He alleged that the label misled him about royalties that were being owed to him that he'd never got, right? So the suit was settled out of court, and Zappa became the owner of many of his old master recordings, and he also started his own independent darn label because of this in 1981 called Barking Pumpkin Records, sorry. And he states that we are taking all the risk a record company takes. We have to pay for our own recording, advertising, every other cost, a record company, a record company normally would have. But on the other hand, all the profit that the company would get goes in his damn pocket. Oh, it's juice. I don't know if it was ever successful though. I gotta see this crap. Yeah, the only artist ever signed to it was Mr. Frank Zappa. I mean, he died December 4th, 1993 to prostate cancer at 52 years old. But guess what, dude? You know what? He stuck it to the man. And, that's fantastic in itself. This music industry can go to hell. He stuck it to the man. And I love that. Let's take a look at the Black Crowes getting kicked off a ZZ Top tour for criticizing a corporate sponsor. Who might that have been? Let's take a look. Tours cost a lot of money to operate, and a lot of that money often comes from big corporate sponsors. This was no different in 1991 when ZZ Top hit the road with the Black Crowes as their opening act, which didn't last very long. Chris Robinson had a habit of telling the audience that their set was live rock and roll, being brought to you commercial free, he says. One of the tour sponsors, Miller Lite Brewing, apparently didn't like that. He asked Robinson to stop saying that crap, and he refused, so the Crowes were kicked off the tour, which is just damn, brother. Robinson went on, he told Rolling Stone that his words were more of a comment toward those brands that took what they do as commercials, and he didn't like that. He obviously did not like that. Nevertheless, the Black Crowes made it clear that tour sponsors should not be able to dictate what performing bands can say or do on stage. And you know what, man? Yeah, wholeheartedly I agree, and honestly I think that might have been a shift in the movement, because you don't see a whole lot of that, A lot of performing artists will kind of say what they want on stage anyway, especially in the rock scene. They don't give a crap. They'll say anything up there. They'll even shout the F word, be like, what the dude? But, back, 1991, dude? Even a lot of pop stars, they'll say some crazy stuff on stage. Some people, hit some politics on stage. Maybe most of the country artists, we'll just say that, okay? And they never seem to get canceled for that. Maybe if it's real crazily political, but I don't know. They just say what they kind of want to, alright? Well, this isn't too good of an example because it actually costed them some things, but Tenacious D, right? During that attempted assassination of Donald Trump, right? They said something about it. KG, I think he was like, don't miss next time type deal. They received some backlash for that one, for sure. I don't really know what ever happened to that, though. They're usually pretty darn good at dealing with that stuff. Most, but if they get caught in some of that controversy or whatever, saying stuff on stage, they get out of it, dude. That's how it is. I don't know. They kind of just, I think, the biggest thing, bands like that or whatever, they'll just turn their comments off on Instagram and then they're fine. Like, nobody can say anything. And then they just never post anything, so people can't talk about it in their realm, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, maybe that's how people get away with things. It's tough for me to say. But I do like what the Black Crowes did here. They, Miller Lite Brewing, they were just like, frick, dude, we don't like that, We're kicking you, they're like, we don't like that. Can you try not to say, stuff like that? And they're like, no way. And they get kicked off tour. They're like, oh, yep. All right, we outie. And they're the Black Crowes, man. They're still doing great. but they just didn't believe, you know, the they just didn't believe in what their sponsors were telling them. And that's perfectly okay. Yes, it cost them some situations. They couldn't finish out the tour with ZZ Top back in 1991, but hey, they're still doing fine, and they stuck to what they believed in. And that to me is a good, sense of character right there. You gotta stick to what you believe in at all times, even if it costs you something pretty cool that you want to do. Most people would probably bite the bullet there. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I like that they stuck to their guns and was like, you know what, frick it, dude. We don't even need this right now. It's respectable. It really is. And that type of behavior too gets people talking. Oh, dude, you'll be like a hero if you freaking, say stuff like that. The dang music industry is just so toxic, man. And just the way that they gotta, freaking, it's almost like manipulating people. And you could say that with anything, but it is truly kind of like that. It's like you got these people, you put them in some, situations that just to make money, market them. I mean, you see it all the time, dude. Like with what I can think, that dang espresso song nowadays. It's like that's so marketable. The song's called Espresso. They got a dang Dunkin' drink for it now. It's just, maybe she likes espresso. I don't know. But, yeah, and that's not even bad. That's not too bad of a thing, but it can be just so stupid. Like if I was an artist, right, I had songs, and I created these songs, and I was like, I want this to be my single or whatever, and it's like, now I have to market, like, Taco Bell's newest freaking crunch wrap or something. It's like, I don't want to do that. I want companies that I believe in, that I like, and want to be a part of. It's like, I don't want to just do this dumb thing because this industry freaking tell me to do so. But I don't know. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Maybe having the money won't be so bad, but it's like, dude, I'd much rather take something I believe in, make a lot of money from that, than something that's just like a dirty company. I'm not even, no hate toward Taco Bell. I love Taco Bell. I don't know their business practices. But, say I don't want to freaking support this crunch wrap coming out. What if it's got Red 40 in it? I don't know. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know. I'm saying some crazy stuff right now. Product placements. I hate ads anyway. Especially a darn beer ad, dude. Miller Lite. Ugh. I don't know if I could do a dang beer ad. I don't like alcohol that much to do that. Huge shouts to Black Crowes for that one, believing what they want to believe. It's pretty awesome. Next, I kind of want to talk about Pearl Jam's federal complaint against Ticketmaster. And I feel like that would be so beautiful today as well. Because Ticketmaster is out of hand. Okay? I mean, it's absolutely insane, dude. Some tickets you got on there. Just to see a freaking comedian that you want to see is over like $300. It's crazy just for their fees or whatever. Freaking insane. But let's get into this one. So, Ticketmaster always, had some complicated relationships, with artists and stuff. It's always been very bad. And this is back in 1994. Pearl Jam learned that Ticketmaster was adding service fees onto the ticket prices, which they still do, and it's terrible. So they ended up complaining to him, and nothing ever happened. So Pearl Jam took another direction, stating clearly to promoters their wish for all tickets to their shows be under $20 with no higher than like $1.80. in service or handling fees. But because of long-term contracts between Ticketmaster and all the venues that they kind of hit on their tour, this request was fastly denied, obviously. So, you know what the hell Pearl Jam did? They flippin' canceled that whole 1994 summer tour. They're like, fuck that then. We don't even want to do that. And then on May 6, 1994, the band filed an antitrust complaint to the U.S. Justice Department, accusing Ticketmaster of being a monopoly. Oh my gosh. This is like deja vu. I feel like this is gonna be happening again. An investigation was opened, but ultimately closing the following year. But it did, however, set an example for future artists to take a stand against that ticketing agent. Oh yeah, you hear it all the time, dude. And that is amazing. Pearl Jam honestly earned some respect from me there, dude. And I know there's a lot of memes about them, you know, the freaking not understanding what the hell he's saying type deal. Like people be like, "Oh my God, Pearl Jam, on hill, under the sunlight." Why am I singing Creed now? What the hell? Okay, woo. Nah, but Pearl Jam taking Ticketmaster, taking on Ticketmaster, dude. That takes some damn balls, man. That takes some fucking cojones, man. But their fees are crazy. But I do like how Pearl Jam here is saying, they want all tickets to their shows being under $20. That is amazing. They're freaking cool for that one. I do wonder though with Ticketmaster, it's like, yeah, they take those fees out and stuff. And people are obviously buying their tickets through Ticketmaster, right? I wonder what the band's cut is for that. I don't know exactly what it is. And it's like, dang, like nowadays if you want to go to a show, man, it's like over a couple $100 just for one damn ticket, dude. And it's like, how much of that's really going to them? Which is really sad too, because it's like they got, I'm sure a good bit's going to them. Obviously, they're playing a dang show, but it's like, they got managers and stuff like that to pay. It's like, shit, dude. You're like practically taking their money just for your little online convenience ticket, brother. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'll have to look up a chart or something, maybe. Oh, yeah. Let's look at Courtney Love's countersuit against UMG, bro. Hey, UMG, man, they are some nasty bastards. I can't stand them. In 2000, Universal Music Group sued Courtney Love over 5 allegedly undelivered albums. This would sound like a daunting accusation to many artists, considering how large and powerful company UMG was then and continues to be. Those guys are some assholes. But Love and her lawyers were determined to stand their diggity darn ground. That's what I'm talking about, man. She countersued the following year, and a case that was not only involved unpaid royalties, but also brought into question the legality and ethics of long-term contracts used by labels like UMG. At the time, the recording industry was the only entertainment industry in California that allowed to hold individuals to a contract for more than 7 years. It was the only damn thing. She says, I could end up being the music industry's worst nightmare. A smart gal with a fat bank account who is unafraid to go down in flames fighting for a principle. Oh, dude, what a badass. She says, I'm ready to take this thing all the way to the Supreme Court. Oh, you don't want to end up there, I'll tell you that. And in the end, the case was settled and UMG waived rights to Love's future records. Damn, brother. Not only was she pretty badass in this, but they darn waived the rights and gave it to Love's Food. Damn, bro. That is flipping insane. That is insane, dude. Like, you can't write these stories, bro. These things happened. These people stood their ground, took it to the man, and was like, you know what? This is wrong, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to get you on my side and make this right. This music industry, let me tell you, absolute shit dog. And we got to stand up for what's right, man. We got to every day. And I hope that's very inspirational to you. But I think that's where we're going to end it here right now on the Mike and the Mike podcast. Frick that music industry. Rip it apart. Limb by limb, brother. Okay? Now I'm out of here. Hope you have a good rest, y'all one. And I hope you took something from these stories. Take it easy. Mikey D out, baby.